Welcome back to the Benoit Motors podcast. Here with the man himself, Jason Benoit. Episode 3. Got some good stuff coming. We got a campaign about to launch.
Got some stuff happening. Yep.
Some stuff happening that we're going to talk about. Before we get into that, it's November, which means one of the biggest shopping days of the year. How's that apply to Benoit Motors on Black Friday? What's going on?
You know, like everybody, we're going to blow a lot of smoke and mirror advertisement
Free Christmas
out.
tree with every new car.
Really, if you come and negotiate hard enough, it's probably the same every day. But no, nonetheless, it's the holidays, and because the holidays between, everybody's tight. Everybody's tight with money, and not everybody can, especially right now, nobody can just run out and buy cars. So really, it's Black Friday, it's this Friday, it's every Friday. To be successful in this business right now, in any retail business, you just gotta grind it out. So we're taking short deals. I mean, we really will, because I told someone yesterday our floor plan statement came out.
Oh,
right. You know what floor plan is?
Yeah.
Do you know what floor plan is? So
explain floor plan.
So a lot of people think that, like, and there's dealers that have the money. I can think of one particular dealer that I know, and I won't say their name, even though if it's ever with me, please, if you ever find this out about me, tell everybody. Okay? Because this one particular dealer has a bunch of all beautiful Super Duties, everything's on their line, and I just happen to know that they don't carry a floor plan.
A floor plan is the bank owns the vehicles.
The bank owns the vehicles, just
that
like
are on the dealership floor.
That's right. The dealership, the factory sends them to us, but only if we have a credit line to pay for them or cash to pay for them. We can't send them back if they don't sell.
Right.
So once they land on the property, we're paying interest on them.
And so this is why they say it's best. Should I give this secret out? Is it a
cool
secret?
With it. Let's go. No.
Okay. This is why it's best to go in at the end of the month. Hear me out when I say this, because come the first, or whenever your maturation is, or whatever it is, you're going to pay that interest that next month if that car's still in the lot.
No, the interest, that is inaccurate from the standpoint of, it's best to come at the end of the month from a customer standpoint, simply because we're competitive people.
And you don't.
And we're trying to not lose to somebody else, and the game's almost over.
Right.
Okay, that's why the end of the month's a great time to buy, people say. The other thing, but as far as the interest rates, it's daily accruals.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, it's daily.
Oh, I thought it was like first of the month.
No, it's that's when the statement comes out, but the line items are daily accruals.
Okay.
But what happens is, I can tell you this, Brady, our floor plan rate was about 2.5% for the past several years. I got my floor plan bill yesterday, and it's 5.74, which 5.74 is still kind of cheap. It's a prime where we have.
So you're not locked into an interest rate on your floor plan?
It changes right now every time them boys meet and we watch the news. And so our floor plan, let's pick a store. So, it's just any store. So we have $21 million worth of inventory between all of our stores.
Okay.
If you take $21 million, multiply it times 5.75%, divide it by 12, I pay about $60,000 a month, and $60,000 to $80,000 a month in interest for the cars that are sitting there not sold. It costs money every day that they sit there. And as these rates have gone up, it's bad for customers, because they're like, hey, man, my car note's going to be more every month. Well, if we have 500 cars, all 500 of our car notes went up.
Right.
So it's not about how much money we can make on every transaction. And this is a season where it's about turning metal.
Right.
And the customers can win from that. Last year, the rates were low, but you got your head knocked off.
Right.
Because we all did. To have a car to sell, we got our head knocked off. And then we had to pass the car off to you for at least a few bucks more.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
This year, the front end prices are going down. Mm-hmm. Rates are up. But, what I feel like, and this is my plug for the holidays, the manufacturers still have incentivized rates.
Okay.
So, like, if our Ford F-150s, you still can get 2.9% financing.
Oh, through Ford Motor Credit?
Through Ford Motor Credit.
All right. Anything in Nissan?
All the Nissans are the same way, and I don't want to be specific because some vehicles are 1.9. Maybe there's some at 0% for 36 months.
If you can get a 1.9 interest rate right now,
you can. You can. Back 4 years ago, you might would have got a $4,000 rebate. That's not going to be there now. So it's kind of like they're using the incentive money to buy your rate down, because that's what the market needs right now to sell cars. So we have ways to make car deals make sense.
Right.
And the front end load of the vehicles, the prices are coming down.
Right.
And the trade values are still high. So it's really a good time to buy right now, but we really are trying to sell them as fast as they get here.
How's inventory right now?
Better than it's been since 2020.
Really?
We actually have new cars on the ground. We're no longer selling them as they arrive on the truck. We've been selling them out of transport. They were either pre-ordered or before they got here, somebody already bought the reservation.
Yeah.
Now about a month ago, it got to where we always had 2 or 3 trucks on the ground, and they were staying about 3 or 4 days each.
Yeah.
And now at any point in time that you go out there, we got 25 or 30 new cars on each lot. Trust me, we used to have 80 to 90 on each lot.
Yeah.
But really, with rates the way they are and the cost of holding goods the way they are, I mean, our inventory levels, there's certain vehicles we'd like more Super Duties.
Yeah.
But overall, our inventory levels are good. And vehicles are coming in daily. I don't think we want to have 500 of them just sitting out there with the rates up the way they are.
Yeah.
So we're having to be a little bit selective.
Gotcha. So floor plans, all that stuff. So Black Friday deal. Let's talk about this. I just saw the post that Jared Fark made on the Dodge store. So what type of? It was a white truck. I saw the picture. I couldn't tell what it was because there's no description. So there, it's. Is it 12,000 off MSRP or 6,000 or something?
I don't know, Brady. I know
it's still going to be there for Black Friday.
I saw it. It's all of our Rams he's doing that with
really?
right now. It's the Ram 4x4 Bighorns.
Yes.
And
2.9% interest.
It's 2.9% for a long term, 72 or 84
no
months.
Payment for 90 days,
no
so you're not payment for February.
So come buy a brand new Dodge truck right now, big old screen, beautiful truck.
Yeah.
You're not going to get a payment till February or March, depending upon how the paperwork
Which
falls.
Great for getting through the holidays.
So save a car note, then the interest that it's accruing is only 2.9%, so virtually zero. And there's ways that we are putting car deals together and making it make sense for customers. Yeah. It's just you got in this economy, you just kind of got to shift and be flexible.
So go down to Dodge, see Jarrett. He's willing and dealing down there right now.
Everybody is in DeAndre over at the Nissan store. All of my folks are super excited. And I know we hadn't talked about this, but we're going to be launching a campaign this month.
Let's get into the
introducing
campaign.
some people.
Let's go ahead and introduce the people. So we're launching campaign We Are Benoit.
Yep.
Because Benoit is bigger than just Jason Benoit.
Mm-hmm.
And you got some other Benoits working. One's a son and the other one's not a son with the same last name.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, he's not my kid. I'm like, he's not my kid.
So you got some Benoits working.
With the first initial of J.
I know. That's kind of strange. Yeah. But anyway, so a lot of Benoits, but you have brought in and up some new people who have been here for a while.
We have.
And so we're you're going to be seeing some social media videos that we filmed introducing who these guys are, their heartbeat, what's their passions, all that. So let's introduce some of them.
Bought the business in 2018. I couldn't have told the story, not going to tell it today, but obviously gambled my life, no money, bad build and rust everywhere and all that. Jared Fark was the first employee that I hired. He also, fast forward, he and I built this business together.
Painted walls.
Painted walls and put floors down. I mean, we did that. We got rid of the cleaning crew when we bought the business because we didn't know that we could afford to pay them when the bill came in at the end of the month. So we were just kids. And so, anyways, business worked. Jared took a gamble on Benoit, and it paid off for him. He's the first person that was an employee that is now a partner. So Jared owns, I don't know what it is, 25% or whatever it is. Jared owns a big part of Benoit Dodge, and he is the dealer operator there.
So he owns Benoit Dodge, but everything adds to Benoit Motors.
That's right. Like we what I've done is I've put somebody with owner authority, a dealer, a general manager that has been with me for a long time. I basically gave each of them my job within each of the dealerships because I can't really say a lot right now, but I've acquired another franchise that is going to – I can't just keep adding and not multiplying myself.
Right.
So I finally pulled the trigger and took myself out of any one particular dealership day-to-day operation.
Right. So you got the whole vision of it all, but the day-to-day operations.
And I got 6 people that I meet with on a regular basis.
Gotcha.
And I'm trying to let these 6 people breathe vision and life into what they're responsible for.
That's good. All right, so you got Jared Fark, been here from the beginning. I remember whenever you called me, hey, come see the building, so I drove it, and I was like, oh, you bought this. I mean, it was one of those. And
I'm like, no, I couldn't afford to buy it, but I'm going to rent it for a minute. And I bought it since then, and we made it nice. But
Yeah, and I remember the first edition that you did. But, yeah, Jared's been here from the beginning. Couldn't find out Jason's cousin used to be my former assistant youth pastor. Did you know that?
Oh, Fark. Jason Fark. That's right.
So Jason, I'm gonna have to send this to him. But yeah, so that's how my connection with Jared. So you got Jared at the Dodge.
DeAndre Braxton. DeAndre Braxton has been an employee here since 2019. DeAndre. I think his wife got him the job because DeAndre's wife's just golden. And they just look so good together. They represent the company well.
He's a winner.
He's a winner.
He's an athlete.
I just like DeAndre. We were in Vegas with them for a Nissan meeting. I started to take these guys when I go to the meetings I have to go to.
Oh, okay.
Now I'm like on the Nissan when I'm bringing DeAndre with me. So eventually, like maybe I don't have to go to every one of them. So DeAndre and I just got back from Vegas and our wives hung out and just super good people. I know Nissan's in good hands. My office is steps from it. I still walk over there every day. We're mentoring these young guys really, 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 really close. I didn't want to bring a bunch of people in, big executive managers in, because that's not how we built our company.
Right.
And so we built it with young, hungry people with hearts to win. Yeah. And so that's what we're doing. So, yes, it's We Are Benoit. Yes, we've added Jared. Yes, we've added DeAndre. Yes, we've added Randall Heyman, who has been with me at Ford for a long, long, long time. And these guys, man, they're doing a better job in their respective locations than I've done in years.
Oh, wow.
I think I'm the best for the job. Just like you should feel like you're the best at whatever job you do, and you should feel like you're at the best whatever job you do. I really think I was the best at the job, but as I kept multiplying the jobs and not multiplying myself, I was leaving employees and customers. Yeah. Trying to do it all myself, I think we were sacrificing some quality and some accountability. Right. So,
well, DeAndre, let me tell you this. I just met DeAndre for the first time 2 weeks ago, something like that, and DeAndre's legit.
He's legit.
So Nissan is definitely in good hands.
Yes.
You could tell even when we weren't filming, just hearing the side conversations. I mean, he is a coach's son, and he's an athlete. He wants to win, but the only way you can win is if the customer wins too. Great heart. Love DeAndre. So Randall Heyman.
Yep.
Ford store. Randall, man, when did Randall show up?
Randall started selling cars for me in 2019. Of course,
see, me and Randall are old rodeo buddies.
Yeah, so Randall, DeAndre's our only college grad. He's our only one that probably had options other than the car business. The rest of us didn't have any options. But Randall was ex-Vernon Parish Sheriff's Office.
That's right. Okay.
He was ex-Vernon Parish Sheriff's Office. Jared was ex-construction worker, but then car guy from Calcasieu Parish. Chris Boyette's my other partner that you guys will meet in the as we do the We Are Benoit. Who Chris has been with me since the beginning, but not as a full-time employee. Chris owned an independent wholesale operation out of Calcasieu Parish and took care of all of that. He invested in our business, but his expertise in the wholesale business, our Benoit grew to the point where he shut his business and he's here full time. Yeah. So he's not responsible for one store, which is probably good, but for even the stores, because Chris is a kamikaze. But what he is great at, he takes care of the used car inventory at all Benoit locations in Wilmart. So he's the guy.
He's on the road a lot.
He's on the road. He's buying cars. He's selling cars. He's making problems go away. Yeah. From his cell phone. He's the one that probably won't be in the face of the customer. Right. Which you'll probably appreciate that, Mr. and Miss Customer.
And you'll probably notice that when you see the videos.
Yeah.
I love Chris.
I love Chris. I mean, Chris is the heartbeat of our company.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he is a wild, crazy, big, old kid. And
that's a good way to describe it.
And so he's fun to have around. So we just got a great team. Deborah Pressgrove is our, I don't know, in corporate terms, you would call her like a CFO. We call it a controller in the car business. Okay. So we're kind of moving into a central group management style, and there's a group of people around me that kind of work for the group.
Gotcha.
And then all these different people that I'm talking to you about, these 3 or 4 different people, they run the dealerships. Benoit North, we don't talk about it down here in Vernon Parish a lot.
But in Farmerville?
But we have a Ford dealership in Farmerville that's very successful. It's, matter of fact, Farmerville, people don't know where it's at, but we outsell the Ford store in Ruston, which everybody knows where Ruston's at. Like my brother is the dealer operator up there. He's my partner up there. So all of our dealerships that have a Benoit name on the front have someone in that building that can look at you and be like, yeah, I own this place. Yeah. Now, does Jason, am I the president of the company? Yes. Am I the majority owner? Yes. But these people have written checks and moved their families and sacrificed their lives. Right. in the name of Benoit, so they are Benoit.
Right.
And Benoit's bigger than me.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, celebrity status or whatever, like I was young and poor, and you see people on TV, and you think that's cool,
Right.
right? Billboards, that's kind of,
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Until you do it for a couple of years,
Yeah.
and you're like, been there, done that, don't want to be recognized.
Yeah.
Want to help my customers when there's a need, but need to be able to hang out with my wife without my Facebook blowing up. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like, I can't continue to grow and be successful without pushing this responsibilities on the other
No, absolutely.
people. I'm not running from it. My fingers are still on the pulse.
Right.
You can still sit and meet with me if they haven't taken care of you.
Right. But they have the authority, but not only the authority, what I like about the four guys, and in particular the four guys, Chris, Jarrett, Randall, and DeAndre, they don't just, life is about, I hate when people are like, it's not about the money. Come on, it's a business. It's always about the money.
I am not here in my wife in New York City right now for free.
Exactly. No one does anything for free.
Okay.
But at the same time, even though it's a money-making business and you're trying to make money, they still have the heart. And that's one thing that I love with the four guys who you have is the heart behind the business.
We slowed down some things, Brady, just before I walked up here because I never know when you're coming, even though you tell me.
Yeah.
And I ran and changed a shirt that had Benoit on
Nice.
it just to try to.
I didn't get a Benoit shirt.
Yeah. So I'll give you mine. It'd be like a 10.
It'd be like a big hoodie.
But, we started slowing some things down. I had a dealer I worked for growing up that really I tried because his son owns the dealership now, and I don't say names. Just I don't think they would care, but it's just I haven't cleared it, so there's no sense in saying it. Good, great people, but how this particular dealer, I remember when I interviewed to get a job with them, I had to interview with all the other managers on the property, and then I had to sit with him. And we have had a lot of we've had some turnover and some unsuccess. Let's just address
Right.
the elephant in the room. Okay,
Yeah.
We've grown a business from 10 employees to 150 in 4 years. You do it without problems. It's not possible.
Right.
Okay. So we have I thought about what that dealer used to do. And I told I told DeAndre yesterday, he said, man, I have someone that I really want to hire. And I know you're wanting to move slow on salespeople, but I want to hire this person. This is why. I said, great. Before we hire anybody else, I want them to go from you. Then I want them to go to Randall before they come to my office. And with Randall, I said, I want them to go to DeAndre. All the managers on the location need to talk to them before they come to my office. If nobody has red flags, they make it to my office.
Yeah.
So I was rushing to come up here with you, and Randall was talking to DeAndre's prospective new salesperson. They were going to walk him into my office after that, so I slipped in Randall's office. And I'm just kind of like, chiming in just so I can get my job done on the way up here. Randall's telling the guy what it takes, what transactions need to look like here. And I say, the only
Like
thing,
car transactions.
Yes. I'm like, no matter what you do for this company, the only thing that matters is the customer leaving happy. Money matters, but it don't because I don't really worry about money. If everybody leaves happy,
Yeah.
it always works itself out. Okay.
Agreed.
And 3 people got to be happy in a transaction for everything to be fair. The person buying it needs to be happy. The person selling it needs to be happy. Mm-hmm. And somebody else, I forgot what number 3 was. Yeah, the bank. Somebody got to get paid.
The bank's got to be happy.
Like, it's very
Right.
uncommon for somebody to do business and then walk away and everybody's happy. And
Right.
so generally it's like you made too much money on this one and this one beat you up too much.
Yeah.
But it's like in a perfect world, can't we just all have a fair
Yeah.
deal?
Win-win.
And I really think that when you do business here, you're going to run into a knucklehead salesman sometimes. Mm-hmm. But more times than not, we're getting away from that pricey negotiating. Like my team knows, especially in the economy that we're moving into for 2023, don't be greedy, sell cars.
Right.
And
Move 'em.
if the interest rates are higher, and that means we got to make a couple grand less than we made per car last year for it to make sense for the customer, rock and roll, let's get it.
Yeah.
Because putting cars on the street, put your brand out there, satisfied customers, neighbors, church members.
Right.
This is the long game.
Well, this is the thing I like. And just before I came here, I was talking to a girl who's been coming to our church since April. And she said, this is one thing she liked, and this is not a promotion about our church. I'm not going to say the name of our church, but she said, one thing I really appreciate about church, she's like, I feel like there's no drama. And I was able to tell the story of our pastor, how he founded the church with no drama. In the first 3 months of our church, they tithed to another church. And I said, because of that, whatever's in the foundation in the beginning is going to be there forever. And because of what you did at the beginning, putting the right things in the foundation, I believe that's why the success of all these other, even the thing that you talked about, you just acquired another thing. I believe it's all in the foundation.
I think so too, and I think there's been times in my foundation in the company that it's been more, the foundation's solid, but there's been some times that I wasn't, and certain things in the business wasn't. Heck, I was a kid. I still feel like a kid. So we've definitely, and when I did this, man, there was a lot of people betting against me. Yeah, people that I was in the car business with in Lake Charles and Sulphur, probably, there was probably some chuckles. Hey, man, nothing bad. It's just, he can't do that, or whatever. So, man.
Because they only knew you on the back end. Because you weren't really in the front. You sold cars for a little while.
I was, in that late 90s and early 2000s, very, accomplished in sales. But then I really never liked the car business. And I was trying to get out of the car business because I wanted to coach baseball, if you remember. And
no, I remember the Pirates. Yeah,
and so that was kind of how that happened. And, so I tried to get out of the car business hours, and so I moved to service. I sat in service for 15 years.
Yeah.
And my career advanced in the back end. And then I came here. I just really think, Brady, I don't want to be negative, but I just think people are people. And most of the time they just really don't want the other people to be successful. I don't know. They, sometimes, I don't know. I'm getting a little older.
Haters.
I'm looking at things a little bit different. I don't want to be negative, but I'm no different than those people because I have been those people in the past.
Yeah.
You understand? I still am sometimes.
Right. That's the plank in your eye.
It is, man. So I don't want to be judgmental, but nobody thought we was going to come over here and take over the universe.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can't wait till all the other stuff that you guys are doing, actually, so we could talk about that.
We do. It's
going to be some really cool stuff.
And you know what? It's a franchise, and it's a franchise I don't have yet. And that's as far as I'll.
Can we say locations?
No,
can't say locations.
No,
somewhere near you. How about that?
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Don't know.
So, but we definitely we're growing. We're acquiring. We know in our heart, I do, that I'm supposed to grow again. And I knew last year I wasn't supposed to. It's weird. I kind of get these nudges that hadn't steered us wrong yet.
Yeah.
And I think the package is almost complete. And then we're just going to focus on growing the legs out from underneath it and the roots deeper. But, man, we're in a great place as a company right now.
That's good.
Our service departments, God, I'm glad you got to put this on the podcast. Right?
Yeah,
so our service departments last month, we have talked about so many challenges in the past with service. Our service departments last month had an all-time.
Out of all dealerships?
All three of them. Nissan didn't have an all-time record, but Dodge and Ford had an all-time parts and service record. Fixed right the first time scores were higher than they've ever been.
Wow.
Customer complaints were lower than they've ever been, and profitability was like 30% higher than it's ever been.
All right, so you promoted Miss Gay. Who's in Dodge? Do you know?
Jared has himself taken over the Dodge service department right now because he wants to learn how to be a good general manager.
Oh, there you go.
Because I promoted Randall to GM here
after he did service.
Jared was the GM. And so Jared kind of found himself asking Randall service questions. And now, man, those guys have become better GMs than I ever had time to be.
Nice.
Because they're just having to figure out how to GM this one store with 4 departments. I was trying to GM 4 departments times 5 stores. And it's just not possible.
Gotcha. Lots of good stuff going on. So if you're a customer, come by, have a chat, have some coffee. Do you have coffee for people?
We should, unless someone needs to be replaced.
Okay.
We pay a coffee bill.
Yeah, you pay a coffee bill.
And we buy coffee cups because my dad complains about the number of cups that we use.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. If you didn't know, it's not just Jason and son, and it's you got your dad here.
Yeah, my dad actually. My dad is actually a partner. People don't think my dad owns anything, and he didn't really. He owns 5% of the Ford store, and it was kind of a unique situation. Yeah. That we don't have time to talk about how he ended up with it. But once we got over here, I was like, I'll just keep it when one day it'll be mine. And so it gives him just enough skin to take everything personal.
Oh, yeah.
But let me just tell you, let these employees not I mean, the paper and the supply closet. He is a Nazi. You hear me?
Here's what I love about your dad is whenever we were remodeling the karate store back in the day. See, that's a story that we never even talked about on the podcast.
No.
We're going to have to bring up the
I'll put the
dojo
gi on for
Halloween.
For Halloween here.
So we're going to have to tell the dojo story, but whenever we were remodeling that first one, and building it out, your dad was there with his hammers and nails and building that little wall out.
That's right. I didn't know Dad did that, but I remember that.
He was always there with us. And so I love how your dad's a part of everything that you do. I think that's so valuable.
Is. My dad is a priceless individual, as many of our dads are. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I just went and saw him earlier because my license plate came in and he was out there signing some checks, doing something, all busy.
I feel sorry for anybody that has to ask him to sign a check. It's an inside joke. They don't ask him to sign checks, right? But but man, Brady, a lot of good stuff's happening. We're not perfect. We're still growing. We're still trying. I'm not perfect. I have good days. I have arrogant days. I have days where I wake up and I'm like, man, you didn't act right yesterday. Yeah. The heart of the company at the end of every day, though, for sure, is we will not take advantage of anyone. And if one of my 150 employees did something that you don't feel is fair and just, man, I don't want to hear about it on Facebook. I'm sitting in office. Let's fix it. We fix problems. And you know what? I always err on the customer's side of caution just because, if this costs me a little bit, as long as this customer's enjoying the next 2 years in this car, I'll make it back later. I'll make it back on the neighbor. Right. They'll tell somebody that something didn't go right, but we made it right. And that's all people really care about.
Oh, absolutely.
Is what you do when things go wrong. Yeah. Because stuff's going to happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we definitely make it right. And we don't make finances a part of our decision-making process when it is, do we take care of a customer or not? Finances are never a weighing option. It's what's right.
That's cool.
And if there's a 1% chance that it happened here, or if there's a 1% chance that we might be at fault, and it's a local customer anywhere in a 60-mile radius that is a hometown customer, you're going to be taken care of.
That's right. Make it right. Well, hey, thanks for joining us on this episode of the Benoit Motors podcast. Can't wait to see you on the next one.